Now, dementia is the loss of cognitive functioning, meaning thinking, remembering, and reasoning to such an extent that it interferes with a person's daily life and activities. Now, some persons with dementia cannot control their emotions, and their personalities may actually change. And there are different types of dementia, including Alzheimer's disease. Join us to speak about dementia and the ways for caregivers to care for persons with dementia is Miss Dundeen Ferguson, founder, executive director of Alzheimer's Jamaica. Good evening, Miss Ferguson.
Hi, good evening. Thank you
Hi.
for having me.
You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Welcome to Powering Your Health. Now tell us about your organization, Alzheimer's Jamaica.
Yes, one of the main purpose of introducing this organization was that I felt that it was important for our society to be aware of this disease
Yes.
because, growing up in your community as a child, you usually see persons walking the street, we call them
Mm-hmm.
mad people. And I think in our community, we were a little cruel as children, throwing stones at some of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, it occurred to me, this person could have dementia, lose his memory and walk in the street. So that came through my head. But one of the important things was that my mother
Oh.
was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Um, but why I started the organization, I talk about it all the time, was I remember there was my mom.
Mm-hmm.
She, when it started with the early signs, we had a caregiver for her, and she wandered off one day. The lady used to take her for a walk during the day, and she saw a house and said that it looks like my brother's house.
Uh-huh.
And so the caregiver came to do her thing, and mommy was gone. And it created a problem, and we had to call the police because we gave her a bracelet with name and address if she
Okay.
were missing. Um, and they found her, no, a neighbor saw my mother sitting on her doorstep. And she came saying, "What are you doing here?" And then she saw the bracelet, called the police, and that was the end of the drama. She was
Oh.
taken home safely. So when I saw that, I said, this can happen to any family. And that motivated me, one. The second thing that motivated me, I came home one afternoon from work and watching the news. And here it was, a girl crying and talking about her father gone missing, and she talked about how his behavior strangely.
Uh-huh.
And he wandered off. And a few days later, he was found dead on the road,
Oh no, yes.
far,
That.
far from home. So
Yes.
he wandered off and walked and dead. And when I saw that, I thought of my mom when she wandered off.
Yes.
And I said, look, a family now loses a loved one. And, all the daughter was talking about how he would behave funny and everything. And and I just watching the news, and tears came out of my eyes, and I was just crying.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, I need to talk more about this.
Yeah.
So I
Mm-hmm.
made some inquiry, and I got in touch with Alzheimer's Disease International, and I was just talking to them. And I got interested, and then I was invited to a function. Um, that took me to England. That
Mm-hmm.
was exciting.
Yeah.
so, so I
Uh-huh.
went for a first session of meeting other individuals with associations in different countries. And the person who motivated me even more was Keith Turner.
Mm-hmm.
He was a guest living with dementia, and he
Okay.
came with his wife. Yes, and he just talked to us and stuff. And we had dinner with him and his wife and everything. And I impulsively asked him if he could come to Jamaica to share and talk,
Mhm.
And he said yes. I brought him to Jamaica, and we visited three parishes. We were in Mandeville where we started and invited persons from the community. And there were persons who attended to listen, had family members at home living with dementia. And I said,
Aha.
wow,
Wow. But
now I'm getting to hear
to
more
hear
about what's
more.
happening.
So
Yes.
so now that it
And
comes to this point here, I see it on Instagram. You have, because I follow you on your organization on Instagram. It has this post. How old will you be in 2050? And
wow.
it got me thinking, how old will I be in 2050? I will be very
Yes.
old. But separate and
Yes.
apart from that, it says that by 2050, an estimated 40,797 families will be living with dementia in Jamaica. Act today, for now, and for the future.
Yes.
So that is your organization there. So the persons that you would have met on your when you went with Mr. Turner and so on, they would be having their family members with
Living with
dementia
it.
and
Yes.
wondering, how do I care for this individual? So
Yes.
I'd like you to give us some tips, because I know persons are listening with bated breath about some tips about um how do you care every day for someone with dementia.
Yes, it's very challenging because different persons have different responses. You
Mm-hmm.
have some families who have persons, family members living with dementia who are very aggressive and
Yes.
very hard to control, very difficult for the family member. And you have those that are very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So you are not sure exactly how the responses will be. Um, so the first step is you have to approach it delicately
Mm-hmm.
with a little understanding and patience because it's all involved. Your whole the manner in which you're going to deal with your loved one is very different. You're aware of the changes because your doctor will give you an idea of
Mm-hmm.
some of the changes that you will see. They they're losing their memory. They not so sure about time and place. So you have to be patient. There are instances where they are poor judgment because they can't do certain things like dress themselves and take a shower to be clean. Those are some of the little things like you're treating with a baby.
So
And that's
mm-hmm.
pretty much how it looks because they themselves don't know. In fact, when they start to develop the different changes, they are confused and some may be aggressive because you are saying, no, don't do that. And, you know, they sometimes think, who are you? They don't know who you are.
Ah,
And,
yes.
and, and they will start to react thinking you are the boogeyman. And it creates that problem. Oh, you deal with it. Sorry, I'm sorry that I have to go over and talk about my mom.
Yes.
It was always sometimes my brothers they were very funny, with her. So because I was studying the time in Jamaica and having my getting and my family in
Mm-hmm.
Canada, so I will come up
Mm-hmm.
during break. And this was the time that it was winter, and I'm in the bed. I'm going to go sleep with her in her bed,
Mm-hmm.
and my brother says, "Where are you gonna sleep?" And
Ah.
I'm like, "Beside mommy." And they say, "Really?" And then they start to laugh. And I couldn't figure out why they're laughing.
Uh-huh.
Well, I found out. When I went in the room, everything on the bed, she pushed over her things in the middle to prevent me having any space in the bed. So
Uh-huh.
I just had to, you know, bunch up at the wall close to the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, okay then. And she, she was a soap opera person, so she'll have the TV running reruns on a tape. And one of the surprising things, I turned and wake up one, coming into the morning, and I saw her getting dressed. It was winter. She's putting on her winter jacket. And I said, Mommy, where are you going? And she thinks they usually take her to activity during the day, and the bus picks her up. So she's getting ready to go out, outside dark, And then I said, no, Mommy, no, you're not to go anywhere right now. And I distracted her. This is about disorientation, confusion about day, night, time. They don't know that. So she wakes up. It's time to go to my activity. So she's getting dressed. And she's going out. So these are some of the little things that may happen, And I find it interesting that I'm cooking and she is just in the living room. My brother called, checking on her, how Mommy, and so every day they call,
yes.
How's Mommy? And I says, yes, she's fine. And he says, let me talk to her, and I hear she put her on the phone. But then when I realize she's whispering, and then the next thing I know, the phone is down, and I went and picked it up. My brother was still on the line. And he says, what are you doing to my mother? She's complaining to him.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, he said, you don't feed her, and she don't get nothing to eat. What are you doing? I'm like, hello, I'm cooking. Me and she's sitting here and we eat. What are you talking about? He says, take her for a walk. I'm saying to myself, are you crazy? It is cold outside.
Yes. So in other words, there's this sort of change in terms of relationship to time and space and really what is happening.
Exactly. And she was well dressed, on her coat and everything, ready to go out.
Ready to go.
I said, I had to turn off stove, and I said, okay, I'm coming. Put on winter thing, grab my handbag, and I said, okay, come. And we went out.
All right, Miss Ferguson, I'm going to ask for another 5 minutes of your time, so we have to take a break. Please hold for me.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
8:30.
Cross Country Road Show. Hit up every parish in Jamaica.
Yes, we have what you need in the RJR Gleaner Communications Group 2023 Cross Country Invasion. One nation, one family, and we are rolling out with the power of 12 plus. Come out and meet us on Friday, February 10 for the launch from 2 locations across Jamaica. We kick things off at 5 a.m. from St. William Grant Park, downtown Kingston. At 1 p.m. we intensify the fun and excitement from the Third River Park in Ocho Rios. Join us for the live broadcast on Smile Jamaica, TVJ's Daytime Live, Radio Jamaica, Fame 95 FM, Hits 92 FM, Power 106 FM, and RETV. Fun, giveaways, and exciting activities. Meet your favorite personalities, plus special live performances. It's gonna be an invasion like no other, and you must be there. February 10, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. from St. William Grant Park, downtown Kingston, and from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. from the Third River Park in Ocho Rios. Brought to you by the Statistical Institute of Jamaica in association with Caribbean Dreams, Access Financial, Links, The Guardian Group, Sunshine Snacks, H&L True Value and H&L Agro, Trangbach Tonic Wine, Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Gateway Cooperative Credit Union, Development Bank of Jamaica, and Advanced Integrated Systems.
It's a cross-country invasion. It's a cross-country invasion.
It continues to be all smiles at Wellington Dental. We offer dental care for the entire family, including cleaning, filling, whitening, and other dental services. There's wheelchair access and an exciting play area for the children. Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Telephone 876-984-5482 or 876-749-3515.
Welcome back to Pioneer Health here on Power 106 FM. I'm Dr. Jackie Campbell. I'm speaking with Miss Dundeen Ferguson, founder, executive director of Alzheimer's Jamaica, and she's given us some insight into taking care of someone with dementia. Miss Ferguson, are you still with us?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So,
Thank you. One of the things that I want to raise and touch it with Jamaica, because we know the limited time we have,
yes.
about what are the plans that we have. And at all times we have been working and encouraging members that we work to make sure that we link with the government and plans that we're going to take dealing with persons with dementia across our communities.
Yes.
And one of the things, because we are a member of Alzheimer's Disease International, for the 2 weeks they ran a campaign called What's Your Plan? And they were focusing on the Alzheimer's Association across the Caribbean and Latin America, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
But we just put forward What's Your Plan? And one of the things that they are pushing for government to recognize is that we need to have a national dementia plan. That's one.
National dementia plan, yes.
Right. I think the Minister of Health, Dr. Tufton, is fully aware of that campaign, and we are hoping to push it even more, that we need a plan. Because a plan will make sure that government assist and put things in place. You can't have an NGO. We can't put things in tangible things for families because they need help.
Yes.
You have different economic standings of families across the country. You have some who can take care of, and there are some that can't manage. So how do you get help? A lot of people, when they send email or call, they're always asking, we need help. How can I get help? And they need tangible help. We can't give money, but we can give assistance or point them to an agency for which they can get help. So the ministry sometimes have help which they can try and assist families.
Yes.
But we need a concrete plan.
But until that plan comes about, so it's something that is hopefully will happen and happen soon. Any last minute tips for persons, let us say a caregiver, someone who is living now with someone with dementia, a family member who at the moment, let us say this person is aggressive, this person wants to leave the house or so, what can this individual do? Because it's as you know, it's very, very frustrating for family members and the loved ones, and to see this sort of deterioration in the behavior of someone who, you know, this is not this person who you knew 5 years, 10 years ago, 1 year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you say to a caregiver?
It's very hard. You just have to develop your patience.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say anything more than that. What you want to do is to be calm. So you have to, you can distract them, easily with little things.
Mm-hmm.
They're almost like, and I don't really want to say it, but they're almost like little children.
Yeah.
They're back. So if you know they like something, then you will probably attract their attention to that. So if they like cookies, you might just say, okay, let's sit here and you sing or do little things and distract them and just get them engaged. Because the honest truth is that you have some that are aggressive.
Yes.
Because they are totally confused and not sure. And then you have those that are very quiet. We'll just sit, some read all day, and just eat and get up, and they know when they are going to take a shower and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it happens differently. So you have the family members, how you are going to deal with it. And I think if families are aware of the disease and the fact that the person is losing their memory, they have no control over it, and it's something that is deteriorating over a period of time, right? Which all goes to health as well, what you eat and stuff. But that is what happens, because the truth is, you have family members who abuse their loved ones.
Yes.
Out of they are not aware of it, and it's sad. I know I'm taking up your time, but I just have this one thing
Yes.
that stick with me about the abuse of a loved one living with dementia. They couldn't deal, whoever, with the mother, and and this is someone who visited, and we had a forum and they shared. The person, they took their mother, put her in the yard on a chair, sitting down, under a mango tree, and pretty much have her, she can't move, she's palliative, meaning not someone who's going to get up and
Yes,
walk away, that. Have her secured on that chair.
What
For
do you mean
hours.
secured? Just tied up?
Yes.
Good
Tied up
Lord.
in her hands were, and sitting on that chair. And she is wee-weeing up herself. You know what? When the person come and find her, and
Oh no.
and
Oh no. Oh
in
no.
the yard on the ground. You know how that is.
Oh Lord.
And the lady is sitting there.
Oh Lord.
And when I heard that, tears came to my eyes. And I said,
Mm-mm.
these were some of the people that I had at this session and stuff where we were talking were also social workers and stuff. And I said, what is that? What is that? How can you do? It's your loved one. It's your mother.
Yes,
see what I'm
but
saying?
I'm thinking that maybe they just don't know what is happening,
That
and
is,
they
yes,
just
yes.
decided that this is how I'm going to deal with it. So what you're saying is that we need more exposure, more increased
Yes.
awareness, so that persons who have to deal with people with Alzheimer's, they know like what to do, and they don't do things like that.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
really not
Yes.
nice, for want of
No.
another term. But I know I'd like
Yes.
to thank you so very much for coming and to joining us tonight. And this means that we need to have another conversation like this very, very soon. So I'll be speaking with you about when we can join up again to continue this conversation.
Sure. Thank
Thank
you
you
very much.
very, very much. Give your mom a hug. I know you will see her on FaceTime, you say. But
Yeah, every Thursday we have that.
oh gosh, that is so wonderful. So you can send from me to your mom
Yes.
a virtual best
Oh,
wishes. Okay?
yes. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. We just heard from Miss Dundeen Ferguson, founder, executive director of Alzheimer's Jamaica, about dementia and the ways caregivers can care for persons with dementia. We have on the line